Hello everyone. In this video I am going to cover one of interesting topic in compiler design known as lab factoring. Actually this topic belongs to parsing section in compiler design, but I am discussing this topic as an individual topic here. So let's see what is lab factoring. It is really interesting. Okay. First of all, just a moment. First of all, you need to understand lab factoring is a grammar transformation. Okay, it is a grammar transformation, and where we need lab factoring. Suppose if your grammar contains at least one production rule of this form, if your given grammar contains at least one production rule of this form, in that case you need to lab factoring. Okay, actually lab factoring is used to avoid backtracking in recursive descent parser. That's why we do lab factoring on given grammar, then we apply for parser. Okay, was as now I am discussing this topic as an individual topic. Okay, so again, if your grammar contains at least one production rule form this one, okay, in that case you need to transform your grammar in following form. You need to transfer grammar in following form. How you need to transform? A producing alpha. Okay, just a moment. This alpha is common here, this alpha is common here, this alpha is common here. So we will transform as A producing alpha, and we will write down there, we will introduce new variable A dash. You can name any variable. For sake of simplicity I am keeping its name A dash. Now A dash can produce beta 1. Why beta 1? Because here we have alpha and beta 1. That's why A dash can produce beta 1, A dash can produce beta 2 and beta n. If you see, if you observe closely, if I put here at place of A dash, if I put here at place of A dash beta 1, so I can get alpha beta 1. Okay, if I put at place of A beta 2, so from here I can get alpha beta 2 and so on. So you need to keep in mind, while you performing transformation, semantic or meaning of grammar shouldn't be changed. Okay, now let's apply. So this is lab factored grammar, this is not lab factored grammar, this is lab factored grammar. Now applying lab factoring on given grammar. Suppose you have been given a grammar of this form and you have been asked to perform lab factoring. You have been asked to perform lab factoring. First of all, in this grammar you need to identify alpha and alpha, beta 1, beta 2, beta so on. There might be more than one beta, that's why we are taking beta up to beta n. Okay, so there is only single alternative, so no need to compare. There is more than one alternative. You can clearly see here, you can clearly see here, just a moment. You can clearly see here we are having more than one alternative of variable A. So this A is common here, this A is common here. If you compare with this one, okay, to this one, so alpha would be A, and this remaining BD is would be beta 1, and this B, this it would be beta 2. Okay, now apply this rule for lab factoring. As producing AB, write same for this production rule. For this production rule we will write down A produces A dash. This is alpha, and this is A dash. Write down alpha, then A dash. Now A dash will produce beta 1, beta 2. So BD here beta 1 and B here beta 2. Okay, and it does not require lab factoring because it is not having in this form, okay, in this form. That's why this production rule does not require lab factoring. So this is your lab factored grammar, this is your lab factored grammar. Okay, again repeating, you need to identify if your grammar contains at least one production rule of this form. Okay, there must be minimum two alternative in order to left factoring. If it contains grammar production rule of this form, apply this transformation, okay, and write down grammar in left factored form. So this is your left factored grammar. It does not contain any common prefix. Alpha is known as here alpha. How to identify alpha? Alpha is longest common prefix. Longest common prefix. Okay. So in this way you can perform left factoring. Okay. We can see one more example. Look at here. This is your given grammar and you have been asked to perform left factoring. Okay. So how to compare? We need to compare with this one. Okay. So we need to identify longest common prefix alpha here. Okay. So if you would closely notice IETS, here IETS, this is alpha. Okay. This is alpha. Alpha. This would be alpha. And what would be beta 1? Beta 1. Here is nothing. Okay. So you can write down epsilon. And what would be beta 2? Beta 2. Here we have beta 2 ES. This ES. ES. So write down here a small ES. Okay. So how to write down? A producing alpha A dash. So we will write down S producing, this is alpha. In place of A dash we will write down S dash, and this is given term. It does not require left factoring to write it as it is. Okay. Now A dash producing beta 1, beta 2. At the place of A dash we will write down S dash. And what is alpha 1? Epsilon is alpha 1. And what is beta 2? ES is beta 2. And write down this production rule as it is because it does not require left factoring. In this way, this is your left factored grammar. So it is very easy and very important part of parsing section. Okay. So thank you everyone. If you haven't understood, write down in comment section so that I can make you clear. Thank you.